So, one of two games on Super Saturday here on Fox League. We're underway off the boot of Zach Lomax. Ash Klein is our referee. Manly first use of the ball. And Josh Aloye on the first carry of the match. Manly played a thriller last week against Parramatta. It was an enthralling game. There's Jake Trbojevic on that hit up. And as you know, the Dragons, as Brandy highlighted, started so well against the Cowboys. And then fairly much just fell in a heap in the second half. The Seagulls with Trbojevic, loose play behind Cherry Evans. A little sloppy in getting back to now. Kawatu pushes his captain. Hope things improve from there for the Seagulls. So time to do a bit of hard work. Trbojevic, incredible stat about Tom. First time he's played the Dragons since 2019. In that last game, he ran for over 300 metres, 3 line breaks, a try, and about 11 tackle busts. So maybe the Dragons would have rather it was another year before he played them. So Dragons outside their 20, the first use of it. And Kawatu down low. Bird hoping to get a penalty there, not coming. And that is a brilliant low tackle there. You want to see good technique. You saw it there from Ruben Garrick. And this time with Fatala Mariner, Raymond Fatala Mariner, 17 on his back in the starting side. Tom Eisenhuth to the bench for the Dragons. Laurie on an edge that time. Tackled by Jake. Last tackle, 5 metres inside the Manly half, and Hunt kicking from the short side. It's very high. Pressure on the Manly Seagulls, not coming up with the ball. The Dragons are running from everywhere. Leilua needed one more ball clean. Surley with a bit of stepping, kicks again. And it goes over the dead ball line. Could have been anything for St George Illawarra.
Oh, that kick down the short side. It was a great take. The Dragons plucked it out of the sky over the top of Tom Trbojevic. Zach Lomax, he's done that plenty of times through his career, taken a high ball away from an opposition fullback, and the kick at the end from Moses Surley just trickling across the dead ball line. A near thing for the Dragons then. They were a hot start last week. They almost off the same here.
It was the highest of kicks. Tommy Talau, you might have a bit more action coming your way after that first one. Talau in the side for Viega. Now Cherry Evans, how quickly defence can turn into attack. Manly 21 metres away from the Dragons line now. As Jake goes left side, Brooks delivers short. Ben Trbojevic, excellent tackle there by Jaden Sewer, but a quick play to ball, and it is Tom Trbojevic. Who did he get it down and then pass?
How did he get the ball away?
Well, he got the ball away, he got the ball down, he did it all. He just took him on. He could be in beast mode today.
You said it was a great tackle, and it was a legs tackle made on Ben Trbojevic, and it was Jaden Sewer. Tom into dummy half, knew that there was a chance with a quick play the ball through Ben Hunt. How did he get that away?
Tolu Kola, talk about a gift. This
will show it perfectly front on camera as he's going down.
No.
There is 5 Dragons there.
That's ridiculous. You can't get a pass away with that many defenders on you.
And he must have been centimetres away from grounding that arm before he got the pass away. Once that arm is grounded with the ball, that's the end of the section. But he got it away incredibly as he was going to ground.
An amazing Harvey Norman replay. I think you need the big screen from Harvey Norman to fully appreciate the quality of the pass. And then the quality of the pass meant how little Tolu Kola had to do.
Well, from back on, you couldn't tell what had happened. All of a sudden, the ball was in Kola's hands. We're wondering how it got there. But Tom Trbojevic comes up with just a piece of brilliance.
And over to Ruben Garrick, who's kicked very well this year. He's got the best sideline conversion rate.
The Dragons should have scored only moments earlier.
So here he is from wide out. Ruben Garrick successful. Manly lead 6-0. Eloise Sawyer on the sideline this afternoon. A great start for Manly. had an opposed game, didn't they, pre-season? Dragons and Manly. There's now Jake Kravojevic and Brooks there, spreading it left. Again, you watch the replay. We've seen the Dearden tackle last night for amazing pieces of play. That pass is up there. 5 defenders on
yes,
one man.
Is. Yeah, it's right up there, that pass.
Now Ben Kravojevic. Dearden on Cobbo. Kravojevic pass for Kohler try. Incredible moments. Here's Aloye. You've seen them on Fox League. Plenty more coming this weekend. 5 days and nights over the Easter weekend. Last tackle here for Manly. It is Brooks, Cherry Evans kicking to the corner. Ravalawa underneath it. Called it out. And really was given safe catch by the Manly chasers. Fasuli. Give you a stat on the Dragons. They have the best record of any team over Easter. St George Illawarra, 71% winners Easter weekend. And an amazing record against Manly. We highlighted pre-match. They've won 22 of 34. They've won 8 of the past 12 against Manly. So 30 metres away from their own line, the Dragons. So Mariner back. Hopefully the confidence not too rocked, having conceded the first try. Hunt had a chance to kick inside the 40, then took a few extra steps. Talau on the fingertips. And back will come Tommy. Scored in his first game as a Sea Eagle. Now back from injury here. Jackson Barlow in from the right wing on that carry. He scored last week for the first time in the maroon and white. Cherry Evans. Up to Kohler. Really getting through their tackles on this set. Jake Kravojevic, DCE. Oh, Tom's put it down. Oh, that's a soft error from the number 1. There was nothing wrong with the pass.
Well, I don't know if Tom was expecting it to come to him so quick. I think he thought DCE was going to do a little bit more with it and go to the defensive line. He caught it and transferred it immediately to Tom, who I just think was caught unawares.
Well, it creates great chance, Brandy, for the Dragons right now. 20 metres away, Ben Hunt. Inside for Sewer. And good low tackle. Josh Aloye cut him in half there. Molo on to Ben Hunt. Now they're skipping left side. Leilua. Nice setup. Sloan with it. And thrown down onto his back, Tyrell Sloan. He's on a good try-scoring run here at Wynn Stadium. Flanagan, centrefield, juggling act by Francis Molo. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. Hunt is 2 passes wide of the ruck. Here he is to kick to the corner. Talau's got more pressure on him. They're flying in. It's off the fingertips. And now claimed on the spot. Jack Bird put an arm up. As Klein locks it in for the moment. And the Dragons hit back, maybe very swift.
And the kicking game aimed at that left corner. Tommy Talau on the wing out there. Here's the quick pass from Cherry Evans, just fractionally behind Tom, who was looking at what the defence was doing as the ball was coming to him. Ben Hunt just chips one into the in-goal area, looking for Zach Lomax again. Talau gets hands to it, but just can't take it dead. The ball slips through his hands and is sitting on the ground, and Jack Bird pounces.
Comes off the legs of his teammate, doesn't it? Comes off Lomax's legs, I think, here. Bird's done enough, hasn't he? Brooks is claiming it as well. 9 minutes into the contest, we believe we have the first try for the Dragons. There it is, confirmed by our mates in the bunker. And over to Lomax, who's had only the 1 sideline conversion this year, as opposed to Ruben Garrick, who's had 8 shots.
Vossi, I thought the Dragons had a chance down this left touchline. When Sloan sort of swung around towards the touchline, he had Ravalawa on his outside. A quick pass from Tyrell Sloan, and Ravalawa was unmarked. They got it back to the centre. Frank Molo did a great job. He juggled the ball and almost dropped it. That would have been the end of the set for the Dragons, but he was able to hang on to it and give Ben Hunt that 5th tackle kick.
For 6-all. Right on target, Zach Lomax. Jack Bird, his first try of the season. In fact, opposing centres have scored the opening 4 pointers for the respective teams.
Yeah, great kick from Ben Hunt, and obviously the target is Lomax. Lomax is fantastic in the air and did just enough to put Tommy Talau off, and well, Brooks thought he might have got his hand to it, but it was Jack Bird, and we're all squared up pretty quickly, Vossi, so good hit back from the Dragons.
Shane Flanagan, you saw the shot. He's a couple of boxes away from where we call from. Oh, his life has changed. Living the dream with Fox League, and now in the dentist chair every weekend as a coach. Dragons on their own goal line on the restart. Blake Lowry to bring it back. They're the hometown heroes. And the set starts 10 metres away from their own line. So it's good, it's bright, it's 6-all to start the game. Conditions perfect. 10 minutes gone. For the neutral observer, you're probably hoping they go try for try this afternoon. Good way to start your Super Saturday. Now for Tyler Mariner. And up over the 30-metre line he goes. If you missed it, Matt Russell, Mark Carroll calling New South Wales Cup. Christian Tuipulotu scoring 4 tries for the Dragons, the former Sea Eagle. A little bit of pressure on the Dragons' outside backs as Hunt goes high again. And this time Trbojevic underneath it, linking up quickly with Buck. So the Manly set starts on the red line, 20 metres away at the northern end of the ground. And you know it's a big crowd when the grandstand up the northern end, full right up to the back row. Few seats spare, but not many. This is a really good crowd on a Saturday.
They are still coming in, Vossi. The crowd is still coming in.
Seka, nice footwork. Just got him another 5 or 6 metres. Now Jake Trbojevic, some cries it forward there to Jake the pass. It was no better than flat. Croker left for Brooks to set to kick. This time the pressure's on Sloan. Getting through was Tom. Ball is down. Kohler got it. Dragons get numbers there.
We'll check it. Check it.
Isn't there a contest with a high ball this afternoon?
6 again. I have no try. Confirmed Tom doesn't knock it on in the contest. I lost sight of the ball. So just
well, when you've got exponents like Tom Trbojevic, who is great chasing kicks and coming up with the football, and you've got Zach Lomax on the other side, little wonder that both teams
The Chasers are onside.
have been happy to put it up and see if they can come up with a result off the back of it. Tom gets through, gets the ball. You know, it's hard to tell how much touch and who's touched it first. I think it goes through Tom's hands. His arm
Tom
contacted.
Trbojevic knocks the ball with his left arm towards the opponent's dead ball line, which is a knock on.
That left arm knocked the ball out of the hands
The
of
ball is then
Tyrell Sloan.
regathered by Manly. We have a decision.
Tom touched it first for a handover, or?
Well, I think there's going to be more what we've learnt from the opening 11 and a half.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bit more number one on number one trying to catch, and Tommy Talau's going to get a few more coming his way. Lomax now averaging 23 runs a game as a winger. Speculation continues on his future. Now Sully is a Sea Eagle. Now Dragons, Little, shifting them right side, Molo. No Michael Molo today, he's out of the 17. Into it. Oh, good shot. That's good from Luke Brooks. Really drove in hard on the edge back rower there. Hunts, well led by the Manly defence. Straight jacket put on by Ruben Garrick. That absolutely shut Flanagan down. Hunt kicks from outside the 40. It's a wobbler, but bounces in friendly style for Tom to bring it back. Trbojevic. This time, Manly start the set on the 30. Early try to Kohler off a wonderful Trbojevic offload. And the Dragons hit back for Jack Bird. Success from a high ball. Croker for Ben Trbojevic. They've chipped away at the middle of the Dragons' defence a number of times. Here they go again, Aloye. Little was first man in. 4 tackles through this set. Not much much time to rest here. Good speed about the game. Up-tempo Manly. They've marched their way up to within 27 metres of the line. Brooks is the bomber again. And this time it's the winger's ball. Lomax confronted by Maroon and White and does really well. Strong and determined. Was not going to be forced in goal.
Yeah, he was heading back, Vossi, wasn't he? Great job there, Zach Lomax, just to shrug away from Tolu Kola, who's very strong defensively. He gets away from Tommy Talau as well.
Another good shot in the meantime. This from Croker for Manly. It's a solid defence. Dragons working hard. Luciano Leilua on that run. And Hunt again. He runs up over the 40-metre line, gets a kick away that has the angle on it. Back goes Talau. And Tommy Talau to bring it back for Manly. Good set from the Dragons because Lomax got the ball, what, a metre or two out from his own line. So they're going set for the moment. Dragons are 7 from 7. Ben Trbojevic. And now Cherry Evans on Tyler Kuatu. His tackle bust count for the year is 13. You'll probably think he's due a 7 or 8 tackle bust game. Tom! He was in the process of passing and lost the ball.
Just gives you an idea just how strong Tom Trbojevic is there. Just picked out a couple of defenders. One was Jacob Little, Fatala Mariner the other. And he almost bursts through the tackle, gets his arm free, and in the process of throwing a one-handed pass, just comes off his arm. It was Jake that was pushing up with his brother.
Still go down as an error. 2 against Tom. He's had the magical pass. He's been involved in a bomb catch almost, and now 2 errors, handling errors. Mixed bag. Tom Trbojevic early. It will be Flanagan to feed the scrum 10 metres inside the Dragons' territory. Crowd almost totally in shade now. Nice bumping run from Bird over the top of Brooks. It is a great sight, the hill here. That's called by Freddie Vorton, wasn't it? The Wollongong Ocean in the distance. Tyler Mariner juggling now. Leilua, he's 30 away from the Manly line. Flanagan, short ball for Little. Dragons lose their way for a moment. Ben Hunt doesn't get the ball. Sloan comes into the line. Hunt has a bit to say on the back of that. They lost all shape there. Laurie with it. So last tackle. Where's the bomb going to be aimed this time? For Tyler Mariner. Hunt, it's not going to be a bomb. They're going to run it. And the cut-out ball. Ravalawa! Burrows hard. Claims the try. Manly gave it their best shot. They barely made a dent on the big fella.
Have no try. Check the touch line and confirm there is a knock on.
He has a crack. He got it. Look, he's either a fibber or he knows something we don't.
Trbojevic across in cover, hard man to stop Ravalawa, but Tommy's a big boy as well. Oh, that foot staying on the ground. Or did it lift up?
Kaylee
I think it's touched the line.
places his foot on the touch line.
Yep.
We have a decision.
It just stayed stationary for too long and just moved half an inch onto the sideline before it popped up in the air.
Other than that, he got it down.
Yeah, he scored the try.
He didn't drop the ball.
No. He got the ball down in the in-goal area.
So that becomes a try saver by Tom. He's had
everything.
Day.
So Ravalawa foot, toenail into touch. That was all. Nice play down the left-hand side.
Drought continues for McKaylee. The try game average of last year, 21 tries, yet to score a 4-pointer this season. And hence that's why Zach Lomax has not had sideline conversion. Ravalawa without tries. Not much doing on the right side or right out on the right corner either. Flying in to make the tackle there, Molo on Aloye. Seagulls away from their 20, Brooks and Kohler. Good struggle this. 6-all scoreline. Ben Trbojevic. Stats have us at almost 50-50 possession. as a penalty goes the way of the Manly Seagulls, the first of the match. We haven't had a set restart. That's the first penalty of the game.
Boy, that's
17
a costly
minutes
one.
in.
That's a costly one there for the Dragons. That was tackle 4. Only needed one more before they were forcing the Seagulls to kick out of their own half, and Laurie's given a penalty away opportunity now for the Seagulls. It's been a while since they've been down here.
With it, yes, for the first 17 minutes. It's pretty much been football played between the two 20s. Manly have only had 2 tackles inside the Dragons 20, and the Dragons have only had 5 inside Manly's 20-metre zone. Now, there is a chance here for more quality field position for Anthony Seibold's side. Jake throwing it inside for Paseka. He will play it on the 20-metre line. Croker to Brooks, right up to the line. And, oh, Tom's put it down again. The Dragons come up with a ball. And away goes Ben Hunt. And the Dragons, they've got them broken. The line Little skipped through the tackle of Garrick. May have hurt him, in fact.
Well, that's another spilt ball by Tom Trebojevic, just out the back there, takes his eyes off the ball, Bird swoops on it, and away they go. They're back on halfway.
Well, if it was a race course, they'd say he's been a champion galloper. I mean, what's happened there today? Suddenly the hands have turned into Dolphins flippers for a while. He's had 3 handling errors in not just the first half, it's in 18 minutes.
LIA just sneaking up too high, and now the Dragons with the opportunity after Trebojevic spills one at the other end of the field.
Now they're getting ready to make their first change. Nathan Brown. They lure on the first run. Dragons have men up and about. Flanagan, DeBellin's on. He came on for Fatala Mariner. So DeBellin's first touch, a good one. Ripping into the Manly defence. What an opportunity for the home side. Hunt finds a hard straight runner.
Great line tackle. Brooks
goes straight on Jaden Sewer. Really good stuff. Laurie to Hunt. Hunt to Flanagan. Surley! Moses Surley breaks his duck for the year. The 2 centres for the Dragons. They're going to check a little obstruction on an inside run here.
Have no try. The player stops in the line, interferes with someone's ability to fly, and they play back into that gap.
It did open up for Moses.
Yeah, one of those occasions where you just wonder how. I was just about to say, look, for his size, he's very agile. So the movement didn't surprise me, but what happened on the inside, just not
looking
sure.
At the run of Luciano Leilua.
Mo.
He stops in the line of Homoli Olakawatu and takes an advantage. We have a decision.
Gee, I reckon our
Gee whiz.
Our players are getting pretty good at falling, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's a skill.
Yeah. You can't go near a player. You breathe on him, he falls over.
Yes.
So, you know, Cherry Evans reacted. Cherry Evans he wasn't obstructed, but he missed the tackle too. Like, so there was 2 Manly players there that Sully got around.
Yeah.
Olakwatu was a good 6 metres away.
It wasn't the hole, was it? That Sully's going to run to.
It wasn't the hole, because Cherry Evans was in between Olakwatu and the centre, Ruben Garrick. So Dragons awfully close. 2 sets in a row. Vossi. Ravalawa goes close. Moses Sully goes close. Both no tries though.
Yeah, well, I will say this. It's good both sides of the field from the Dragons. Left and right side. They look dangerous. Lots of encouragement for St George Illawarra here. And now Cherry Evans. Olakuatu on an edge. They have to do a job on him, the Dragons. They know that. He can break a tackle. He can offload. Croker, and kept going by Brown. Brooks, Ben Trebojevic. Another quality tackle. DeBellin there with Little. And it's the last tackle for Manly. Another attacking kick coming up. It's Cherry Evans. He's got his winger, Jackson Barlow, there. It was batted in field. It comes back the right way. Penalty.
Offside.
So I've got it coming off your player, and Kyle's in front.
Anyone going to challenge? Or will they cop the penalty? They're going to cop the penalty.
Moses Sully makes contact with the ball. Flanagan in front of him.
Play on for Manly. Paseka with a run. At 6-all, 20.5 minutes gone. A really good first quarter of the match. Cherry Evans, cut out ball. Well, we've had 3 errors from Tom Trbojevic. And now Cherry Evans has set a misfire over the sideline.
And the last 2 have been down this end when they've had an opportunity. So they've spent little time inside the Dragons' 20-metre area. And the last couple of times they've been down there, they've come up with mistakes. Cherry Evans, the cutout pass that missed everyone. And then Tom Trbojevic, the set before, puts it down on play 3.
Just checking Flanagan. Has he got little voodoo dolls up there of Tom Trbojevic or Daly Cherry? He's put pins in them, making them make mistakes. Wouldn't put it past him. Dragons outside the 20, first of 2 games on this Super Saturday on Fox League. Very important game for the Titans tonight against Wayne Bennett's Dolphins. The Titans doing it tough. Need a big performance, as South Sydney needed yesterday. Des Hasler v Wayne Bennett. That's good. Hunt over halfway. Shut down by Ben Trbojevic.
Quick play the ball, though.
It was awfully quick. And then the bomb from Flanagan has Jackson Barlow underneath it. Ravalawa doesn't quite get there. He's not finished off there. Leilua.
Well, he's run into 3 big bodies there, hasn't he? Ravalawa, Suli and Leilua. Got a piece of Jackson Barlow there.
Seagulls just over their 30-metre line.
Step.
Since the third handling, Tom's dropped out of the game for the moment. I think he's just a little rattled. He's got to get his confidence back. Almost lost by Brown. Brooks, now Tom's into the play. Keeps it going for Kohler. He's got speed, we know that. Tolu Kohler. Bird's got his hands full. Out on that side, Ben Trbojevic with it for Manly. Nice tackle, Manly. Again, play between the 2 20s, not inside the 20s. Brooks beat one, now the bomb. There's a few players offside. Sloan has it for St George Illawarra. Kohler made the tackle. Not quite pinpoint, was it, from Manly on their last play there?
No, not their best kick. Luke Brooks just a little rushed. Good pressure from the Dragons. In the end, Cherry Evans didn't make a play at it. Left it for Tyrell Sloan. Bullocking run there from Bird.
Tor Sipley's getting ready to come on for Manly. It will be only their second change. Laurie. In fact, Anthony Seibold's been pretty light on for game time for his bench this year. Brown gets the 40, but every other reserve really only gets around the 20-minute mark. He's been pretty rigid on that. Eisenhuth there to play it. 5 short of halfway. Little to Hunt. Hunt to kick long and high. It'll go down the throat of Tom Trbojevic. She's with it. Oh, he runs hard at Sloan. He just hung on, didn't he? That's not an amusement ride, that one. Not that you're going to be paying for that, but Tyrell was just confronted by it. Now offload to nowhere.
I think that ball was knocked out by one of the Dragons.
Croker passes off the deck. Not exactly textbook, all of that. Yeah, Reuben Garrick. By the way, Reuben Garrick with that first conversion. Neglected to mention 1,000 career points, and it's quite a moment for the Manly club. And for Reuben Garrick, Gerringong boy, and only the 5th Manly Seagull to reach that milestone as the Seagulls get a roll on.
Good little set play there, back down the middle of the ruck, picking up Ben Trbojevic. Dummy to Tom on the inside. Brown throws it forward.
What was that? That's an abomination, that.
That's error number 6 for the Seagulls. 25 minutes into the game, that's way too many. That's slipped out of his hands. Someone got some Vaso on their legs out there.
So what?
Some Vaso?
Oh, right. Okay. We're talking lubricant, are we?
Stuff you used to rub on your legs.
Yeah, no, old days.
Oh,
no, I know. I remember that. I remember it. I remember school rugby league finals. Vaso all over the legs on a field that had just been covered in blood and bone. After the game, the bus trip back, the bus was smothered in blood and bone. And Vaso, Dragons with the Bellum, just short of halfway. And Flanagan. Leilua. Quite a wrestle there for Daly Cherry Evans. He's looked more ominous today, Luciano. 3rd game for the season. Now Eisenhuth. Last tackle, Dragons. Again, not able to get into opponent's 20. Hunt with it. Jink away, got away from Croker. Then puts a kick. That is up onto the hill. Some players of our most experienced kind and some of our best in the league are coming up with some clangers today.
Well, he did well to get around Croker, and then, well, that's just a shank. It's just come off the side of his foot and gone out. It's a sellout on the hill. The ball's gone halfway up it.
Well, I'll tell you who's got... I know Ennis has got a voodoo doll. He's got a Ben Hunt one. He's in the Manly box. Strong charge, Sipley onto the field. Back from suspension. Now Olakau'atu. Flanagan hanging on. Lawton comes into the game for the first time today. Croker's gone to the bench for Manly, so changing dummy half. Now Cherry Evans on to Nathan Brown. This is Brooks. Lurking is Tom, and a good tackle on Trbojevic by Jaden Sewer. This time Brown right up to Sipley.
Oh, that's a great legs tackle.
Lewis stopped him there, needed to. Cherry Evans knocked down by Little and got it back. Well, I'm going to make an observation. I reckon Tom's confidence is down. He did not figure prominently in that set. Those errors, I've never seen Tom rattle, but he's dropped out of this game, Tom Trbojevic.
It's been an unusual one from him. He's done a bit of everything. The miracle pass for the first Tolu Kola try, and then from that moment on, most of it's been bad, Andrew.
I think he's had one run the last 10 minutes. He had 6 in the first 16 or 17 minutes of the game.
Well, that's another drop ball for Manly too. At the wrong end of the field for them. They just haven't been able to build any pressure on the Dragons line.
He's Hunt kicking from outside the 40. Jackson Barlow underneath it. There's defenders there, but still able to get back to the 40. Not a bad result for Manly there. Now for Garrick. Nice little bit of stepping. Ruben Garrick. That is classic ducking and weaving there. Cherry Evans on to Sipley. Right up over the advantage line for Manly. That is play number 3 done. And they're 30 away from the Dragons line. Building nicely. Jake Trbojevic on to Ben. And Ben able to play it there for Lawton. Infield for Brown. Cherry Evans kicks early. Olakau'atu copped a bump. Then Ravalawa does take 0 chances by just tapping it over the dead ball line.
Well, Cherry Evans kicked, but I don't think the players on the outside were ready for it. Olakau'atu, the only chaser, ran into a Manly defender. Ravalawa had plenty of times. Cherry Evans doing his own chasing. The outside backs, Ruben Garrick and Jackson Barlow, just they were sitting deep waiting for a pass. But if they can manage the short dropout, Manly will get another set.
Short dropout, it's gone way too long. It's almost out to the 30, fielded by Ruben Garrick. Cherry Evans, then in for Nathan Brown. Play 1, 23 metres away from the Dragons line. They scored early, the Sea Eagles. The 4th minute, in fact. Dragons try in the 8th, and no points since. But this is one of the best set chances for Manly. Sipley's been really strong coming off the bench. He's had a handful of hit-ups already. Lawton to Cherry Evans. Now for Tom Trbojevic. What happens here? He just walks. He walks into the tackle of Leilua. The mixed afternoon continues. Lawton on. Olakau'atu with it. Got a pass on the bounce. That went past the leg of Garrick. Olakau'atu's done a left foot kick and chase. The Dragons back forward. Sewer scrambles back to the field of play.
Yeah, throws himself back into the field of play. Vossi, great clean-up job there by the back rower. Olakau'atu with the grubber kick. Almost set up for Cherry Evans, but real desperation from Jaden Sewer to get back. Comes flying from the middle of the field.
And the Dragons get a penalty, and the crowd cheers at Wynn Stadium. Brown a bit perplexed by it. After a strong carry by Zach Lomax, a little bit of working over on the ground. And Albert Young watching. Greg Young here watching the Dragons today. Dean Young, his son, back in the fold, and the coaching staff. So this set will start 15 metres short of halfway. Sully with a carry. Try disallowed in this first half, one to be reviewed in our halftime show here on Super Saturday. DeBellin. So I hope you've got all your chores out of the way. You're stuck on Fox League into tonight with the Titans and Dolphins later tonight, and again big post-match after tonight's game ahead of 3 more matches this weekend. Hunt over the top. Tom's chasing back. Sloan 1v1. They come together again, the two gun fullbacks.
Yeah, but he hasn't stopped you from kicking the ball down.
Yeah, Ben Hunt to the line, and they had Tom up short just behind the Manly defensive line, just lobbed it over, but Tom, nice anticipation turn, got himself in between the ball and Tyrell Sloan just so he couldn't run around him. He was on the jump, Sloan. He was travelling. Great body position there from Tom Trebojevic just to not allow him to get around the outside.
Great to go in this first half. It's a tight one. Cherry Evans goes long and having to rush back. Hame Sele to bring it back. Like a battering ram there into Jake and Ben. Now the Bellin, a set restart. So Jake or Ben will ping there, not sure. Dragons with Sele. On with Flanagan, Sloan, quick hands, Leiloa stepping, Luciano! Would they have scored if he passed to Ravalawa?
Set restart.
Ravalawa, 2 in a row for the Dragons. On the set restart count, Flanagan, dummy across field. Where's the runner? The runner is Bird. Bird with the run hard. Not falling off the tackle was Kohler. Klein says penalty.
Was that penalty high shot?
Oh, I think he's saying high shot.
Well, he tried to run over the top of Kohler.
Well done.
A little bit of footwork mightn't have hurt. Great play down this left side from Leilua.
Now the Bellin, no thought of going for goal at 6-all from wide out. Dragons trying to keep the Manly defence under the pump. Bird again. He's ready for another exchange. He comes back at them, Bird.
Hold up,
he's a brutal Bird today.
Take it out. Make sure you mark straight.
He's doing some bumping, isn't he, Jack Bird?
Is. Yeah, bounced off Cole up that time and then headed back in field. In the end, they had a job to stop him.
Has he heard of a step? Not today. Dragons with the ball. The Bellin offload. Good. Little. Then Eisenhoof. He's got a step. Just a couple of metres away. Right in front of the posts. Flanagan held it up. Sloan too good. One missed tackle. Garrick missed the #1, and Tyrell Sloan, 5 straight games at Wynn Stadium, puts his name on the score sheet. The Dragons are in front.
Yeah, great stuff there, Tyrell Sloan, just strong enough to get through that Ruben Garrick tackle. Now at the back play. Here's the run from Leilua, went awfully close. It was Carl Lawton who brought him down only metres from the try line. Jack Bird trampling, or trying to run over the top of Manly players. That was the high shot. That earned the Dragons a penalty and another set. Then just held the ball up long enough, did Kyle Flanagan. Had enough players around him just to confuse the Manly defence. Cherry Evans caught in. Garrick couldn't make the one-on-one stop. Very hard on a man with the speed of Tyrell Sloan, and the Dragons, well, they make the most of the ball they've had down this end. Manly's errors have been costly down the other end of the field, Andrew.
Tyrell Sloan, the try scorer. An assessment of what you have seen of Tyrell this season. Under a new coach, he had that injury to start the off-season pre-Christmas, but he
much
seems
better.
A tougher player, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. There's no doubt that he's more physical. Last year, I couldn't argue with them not playing him because he just didn't look right. There was something about Tolu Kola. I remember the night they played the Sharks here in the wet, and he got ragdolled, thrown around like he was a 7-year-old boy. Now, well, you just can't do that. So I think Shane Flanagan's mentally got him right. Body-wise, he looks better and looks more confident.
Tyrell Sloan, exciting if they do get it right with him. I still go back to Anzac Day last year. Man, he turned a game. Like a 20-minute, 30-minute period, it was all Tyrell Sloan. Oh, my goodness! Zach Lomax! The ball is trickling onto the beach. That ball has finished, all right, no exaggeration, it's finished 7 metres from touch and 9 metres out from the goal line.
Yeah, let's have a look at the try anyway. The kick was lousy, but the try was fantastic. The athleticism of Sloan.
You're the goal kicker, Brandy. What happened there? What happened here? Oh, dear me.
We've seen some odd things this afternoon.
The umpire, the ref's hand went out sideways. Ash Klein did the wide. Cherry Evans goes short. Kick off. Little. That is some save from the Dragons hooker. Smother.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff there from Jacob Little.
What a game this is. Dragons 10, Manly 6. You can't look away. I mean, it's not perfect rugby league by any stretch. Manly's made a fair few errors in this first half, 7 in total.
Paseka stolen the ball off Hame Sele. Oh, it's Toff Sipley.
It's all happening. Cherry Evans double. Step, fend. He's 40 metres away from the Dragons line. Lawton, simply ready to go again. So impressive. That's his 6th carry. You can add the ball still to him now as well. Manly with Brown. Brooks, Ben lurking. Trebojevic loses the ball. Ben's lost one now. Brooks goes heavy on Sloan. Dragons flat-footed. Lomax, but they lead by 4 inside the final 4 of the first half.
So when you've only been able to get through 10 sets in almost 40 minutes of footy, you're doing well, I think, Manly, to be only down by 4 points. Okay,
well, this is a big set right now. Do not look away on this set of 6 tackles on Fox League, because the Dragons could extend their lead outside 4 here if they come up with one big play. They've scored 2, they've had 1 disallowed. Here they are with DeBellin. He's been wound up since coming on. 8th hit up for Jack DeBellin. 11 from the line. Dragons, Little, Hunt, ready to go. Sele. Good tackle, took him sideways there. That was Olakuatu. Now Little quickly onto Eisenhuth. Not quite the speed through the centre there to make an impression. Mind you, he's kept advancing. Now they've got a bit of width. Hunt goes short. Manly's defence. Sewer has rolled over. He's claimed the try. And awarded by Ash Klein. Determination personified. And now celebrations ramped up for the Dragons.
well, I think that's a fairer indication of just who has been the better side. 10-6, I thought Manly would be happy with a 10-6 scoreline. I think the Dragons have been the better side, and 14-6 is certainly a much fairer indication. Hunt at the line. Jaden Sewer hitting the... Did you get it down?
Yes, sir.
All confirmed. Tolucola going low. Ben Trebojevic not being able to do the job to stop him rolling over into the in-goal area. And I think a better reflection of who's been the, who has finished this opening 40 minutes on top. 16-6, if it can be converted. Zach Lomax.
Crowd's a factor now as well. They've bought into the match and the performance of the team.
Well, you can't expect to only get through 10 sets in a half of football and really, be just hanging on. And they were hanging on. Manly have been hanging on. A couple of tries near things. The Dragons have threatened 3 or 4 times to score again. They have been clearly the better side.
Now Zach Lomax. He's hit the upright. That could be a costly miss. Margin is 8. Dragons 14, Sea Eagles 6.
Well, they're disappointed with that, Zach Lomax. Well, we know how bad he struck his last kick, but that one he should have been putting through.
George Evans. By the way, we're inside 24 hours from Zoo and Fundora. Dragons almost mucked it up on the dead ball line there. DeBellin bringing it back. The only place you'll see it in Australia, Tim Zhu's big fight tomorrow is on your undisputed home of big-time boxing main event. Looking to win over America, and the big-time beckons for Tim Zhu. What a day, Easter Sunday here. Eisenhuth, good run. Dragons, look, they might have a Ben Hunt adventurous kick coming up, maybe for Sloan to chase through. Sewell with the ball. Sloan will lurk around the play the ball, and he can take off. Fancy the ball is Bird, or are they putting themselves in two-point field goal range? It's the last tackle. They're 5 metres inside the Manly half. Right side of the ruck is Hunt. He'll run now. He's running out of room, and that's the biggest anti-climax I've ever seen. He puts it over the sideline. He may as well go the long-range snap. But he's put the cue on the rack. He said, we've done well, boys. 3 tries to 1. St George Illawarra, just 1 win from 3 to start the year, are leading one of the better performed sides in the competition. Half-time, St George Illawarra 14, the Manly Sea Eagles 6.
Tom Trbojevic started the game on fire with one of the best passes we've seen all year, and is trying to get involved, but uncharacteristically a couple of errors to go with some of the good stuff from Tommy.
Second half underway. Manly running from right to left in the screens here at Wynn Stadium. Jack DeBellin, there's no doubt the crowd built after kick-off, getting in, those coming late. And it is a sold-out hill that Eloise reported on earlier. I don't think I've ever seen it so full, the hill here.
I'd say that, Vossi, the stadium's almost a sellout. The stands have filled up, and you're right, they kept rolling in 10 minutes after kickoff.
Eisenhuth. So it's a stage worthy of a big match now, and the Dragons, for their part, living up to it. Manly need to step up their game. Lure again. In the first half, his best performance so far. Now Suli, gee, that was a hard ball for Ravalawa. Just, it wasn't passed, it was dropped off to the winger there, who's moving, and he somehow got to gather that in.
Well, only 3 errors through the whole first half for the Dragons, and there's the pass from Moses Suli. Just shouldn't have pushed it. Wasn't in the position, body position to throw a decent one, and should have hung on to it. Manly's error rate, horrendous, you would have to say, in the opening 40 minutes. So not a good start for the Dragons. A mistake in their first set. Ball near halfway, or just on the 40-metre line for Manly to start their set.
Going to have a repacking of the scrum. Exactly what would have been the opposite of what Shane Flanagan would have requested from his team. They'd be pinpoint to start the second half. If they're down on confidence, Manly, let's go for them hard these first 10-15 minutes to extend what is currently an 8-point lead. It's a good start, though, to Super Saturday. We've got the Titans and the Dolphins tonight. 2 of the most experienced coaches in premiership history going head-to-head. Des back in the fold, coming up against Wayne Bennett. And Jaden Campbell back on deck tonight. That'll be exciting. Brooks along, Tom Trbojevic, Kohler. Lovely move by Kohler. He gave Jack Bird a cold, and then he slipped the pass as Ben Hunt put pressure on Tolu Kohler. Now Manly's mistake-riddled afternoon continues.
Yeah, down this left side, and really the numbers defensively for the Dragons were fine, but it was just the speed of Tolu Kohler. Trbojevic Kohler just breezes past Jack Bird, but then tries to flick one out the back, and Tommy Talau can't handle it. So error Dragons, error Manly, and after a good run from Kohler, had them on the front foot.
Well, Eloise Sawyer on the sideline. Pretty sure the coach's instructions weren't errors first sets of the second half.
Well, on cue,
yes,
on cue, the Dragons' second set, they come up with an error.
It's not going to go on for 40 minutes, is it, Brandon?
Jacob Little, just a bit of a... Look, Cherry Evans touched the ball in, but that's just bad ball control.
And what's inside their own half now.
But they don't want to keep offering Manly a chance, Fossey. Manly will get it right soon, and they've got enough players if they are continually offered possession.
Something cooking on the left here. I think Bird might be feeling pressure, sweeping around. Brooks left, and Dragons were alert to it. Play 33 metres away from the St George Illawarra line. Jake Trbojevic, Cherry Evans. So Dragons have scored 3 straight tries since Manly opened the scoring in the opening 5 minutes of play with that Trbojevic miracle ball of sorts. Seagulls short side, Olakau'atu. By and large, Dragons have done a pretty good job on Hamoli so far today. Slow play the ball, could have been set restart. Cherry Evans and Brown. Now Brooks goes flat. Ben Trbojevic. Again, Dragons defence read it pretty well. Sewer and Hunt there. 8 metres away from the line. Lawton back in front of the post. Brooks with it. Then for Cherry Evans. Now Tom Trbojevic. Early ball to Ruben Garrick. Held up. They're trying to stretch them here. The Manly attack. Cherry Evans will kick towards the post. Here comes Tom. Ball knocked back by Jaden Sewer.
Goal line dropout.
Goal line dropout, the call.
Another pinpoint kick. The kicks to start the game were fantastic. That one went close to the crossbar. Sewer just knocking it dead.
Quick dropout. Manly weren't even ready. That goes against the grain. Rather than short dropout, let's just go for it straight away. Talau cleaned up by the Dragons' defence. Sipley, Brooks, Kohler. This time Tunt in front of him. The fast feet of Tolu Kohler on show. Jaden Sewer reefed it away and knocked it off.
It towards the opponent's dead ball line. It's a knock on.
Good call. Ref Klein declines the hopes of the Dragons fans that they'd come up with possession.
What a handful but Tolu Kohler is when he's got the ball in his hands. Ran straight at Ben Hunt and again almost ran straight past him. Hunt just hung on.
Because it's not a prodigious step, is it? It's not like a Greg Alexander step. He steps a small step, but it's quick.
Yeah,
left and right.
It's the speed that is the worry for the defenders from Kohler.
Manly this time sweeping right. Tom Trbojevic coming around the back of Olakau'atu. Dragons get there. Sully does well for St George Illawarra, right in the corner. So a full set inside the Dragons 20 if they control the ball. Jaker stopped there in the tackle of Hame Sele and Eisenhuth. Now Lawton. This is DCE. Up to the line. Finds Brooks. There's Kohler. This time Little has him, and de Bellin came in to finish that one off. So far so good, the Dragons defence. Cherry Evans right out on the right hand. Olakau'atu does a little stepping of his own. And then does a little bit of trampling of his own. Almost right to the goal line there. Lawton, set restart, Manly. You heard Klein say you've got to release. Jake Trbojevic to play it. Lawton, Seagulls, Brown, Brooks looked inside, doesn't deliver. They get up on him. That was Sewer and Hunt. They work as a combination. Tom Trbojevic back in for Brown. It's only the third tackle for Manly. On the restarted set, they have Brooks left, Cherry Evans right, set restart again. Brooks with it, Jenkins step. And then onto his knees in the tackle. Quickly out of dummy half goes Lawton. Lawton! He got a look at the line, but nothing more. De Bellin finished it off with Sloan. Great pressure on St George Illawarra. Cherry Evans on for Trbojevic. Cut-out ball. Spinning was Jackson Barlow. Garrick let it go. And now he's headed for the sideline. Call of hell. Play on Manly. Still only the third. This is great goal line defence by the Dragons. Manly are throwing it about. Dragons are finding answers. Play 4 done. De Bellin in defence there with Sele. Lawton for Brooks, up to the line. Ben Trbojevic. They do it again, the Dragons. Hunt drove in hard. Tom Trbojevic, last tackle. I don't know how many tackles they've had. on a couple of restarts. Brooks's kick, well done Dragons. Sully comes down with it, and I reckon that gets the biggest applause of the match, what the Dragons just did.
There were 2 set restarts in that, 14 tackles. That was 14 straight tackles, 15 tackles inside the 20 then. That's incredible defence, and do we look back at the 80-minute mark and go, well, that won them the game? There's only an 8-point difference, although the Dragons were comfortably the better side in the first half. And now they get a penalty. Quick kick from Lomax, and they are on the move, the Dragons.
The roar of the crowd, one, diffusing the last play, then the penalty. Is their destiny to go on the march here? Ash Klein blows the whistle.
Let's go, Gally.
We are ready to go again. Just swell with pride after that last effort. Now, at the other end, can they turn it into points? It'd be a hammer blow in the game if they did it.
It'd be a backbreaker if they were able to come up with points off the back of those 3 sets they defended their own line.
18 metres away from the line, 2 tackles down. Flanagan, Show, across, Hunt there, dummy, then for Bird, Kohler.
Great ball and all stop.
Talau was with Kohler there. Now for Hunt, steadies it up, DeBellin centre field, good play. Flanagan, then Leilua, floats it over the top. Almost collected the leg of the sideline official.
Well, Manly Edge defence was very good on both occasions. First on the other side, it was Tommy Talau and Tolu Kohler, and then there they just jammed from Jackson Barlow just in hard enough and quickly enough to force Leilua to throw a wonky pass that went over the sideline.
Good description, wonky. From the Dragons there. Error count, 4, second half. 4 errors in the first 10 minutes. Fly in the face of what Eloise had told us, what Shane Flanagan wanted from his team.
That's more than they committed in this first half in total.
14-6. The only completed set was the penalty. That counts as a completed set when you get the penalty before the end. Manly quick time, and now 30 away. Tom Trbojevic, Brooks. On it comes this time with Corey Waddell, who was a try scorer last week against Parramatta. Back for Brooks. The left foot bomb from 20 metres out. Ravalawa owns it. Listen to the crowd. Michaeli Ravalawa. I've never seen a steamroller jump. I now have. That was quite a catch.
Oh, what a return from him. He did that a couple of times last week. Surely backs it up, throws the dummy, but Brooks makes the stop.
It's time for Bird. Strong. Kohler.
He's not the biggest player, is he, Tolu Kohler? Boy, he's got some power, as has Bird, who's hurt himself.
Saw some collisions yesterday. Canterbury South. Jacob Preston fractured jaw. That was a...
Well, that's not a shock after watching that collision.
Dragons slow now to Leilua. Dragons chant goes up in Wollongong. The St George and Illawarra fans united here. Flanagan from 20 metres out. Jumpers galore. Kohler gets it this time. End to end. Now we are getting action inside the 20s in contrast to the first half.
Strong game from Kohler. Defensively, he's been good with the ball too, threatened. Very impressed.
Seals out of trouble, or trying to get out of trouble with Garrick. We got Kohler down for 10 runs, 92 metres, 4 tackle busts. And the try. Seals off, forward pass.
Tom, what are you doing? He just wasn't thinking. Olakawatu would run past him, and he still handed it off to him.
Well, that's just... That's
worse on
terrible.
replay.
Tom, Anthony Seabold is wondering, is this a fine cotton scandal? Is this the real horse? Or is it, have I got a fake here? What's happened here? Is this Tom Trbojevic, or is this a double? Cut price Tom Trbojevic, the Audi version. What's happened? He has had...
After the start that he had to the game, he came up with one of the best plays, the biggest plays we've seen all year for a try.
But his involvement dropped.
That might be a good thing.
Yeah. Bold personality it was, wasn't it? The red in place of Fine Cotton. We're doing the reverse here. Fine Cotton's running for bold personality. Here's the Dragons with DeBellin on for Eisenhuth. 25 away from the Manly line. That was a horrific pass from dummy half. Dragons with DeBellin. He's been strong, Jack DeBellin. You like to start, but he's been good off the bench. He might have to stay there. Little, oh, Laurie loses it. The juggling front row of Manly lose it. 1-0. This is a crazy game, but I'm loving it. It's beautiful in all its imperfections, Brandy.
Well, that's 5 errors for the Dragons in 15 minutes, 14 minutes of footy. They nearly could have wrapped this game up by now if they had have hung on to the ball. Their defence at the other end, it still might be game-winning defence. 15 or so tackles inside the 20, but now they can't hang on to the ball.
I can't read lips, but I'm trying to see what Shane Flanagan's saying.
He's eaten one of those voodoo dolls.
He said, what did I say at half-time to him? Was it to drop the ball? Didn't I say the opposite? Oh, what a day to be a coach. 14-6, it still ain't the difference. 25 and a half to go. Anything could happen here on Fox League. Anything could happen in this game. Paseka on this carry. Now flying onto it, Nathan Brown. He had a big run up to that. Not quite back fence stuff, but from well back. Lawton, right side, Cherry Evans. This is from inside the 40. He's got it away. Sloan gets across. Then put the brakes on. And Cherry Evans first down.
Great coverage from Tyrell Sloan there. Daly Cherry Evans, one of the best in the game at that. Had the angle. Sloan was all over it though.
Almost conceding penalty there, but Dragons continue their set. Play 3 with Bird. That's his 14th carry for the day. Jack Bird, he's up over 100 metres. Laurie tucks it under the wing this time.
Well, it might be that sort of situation. Just tuck it under the wing for a sec. Just get through a set and get to the kick.
DeBellin to Hunt. Now looming a slow, quick on. Bird and a juggle. Then a juggle. Oh, no, my goodness. Shane Flanagan. Nurse, he needs help. Flano, how do you keep a straight face? How do you not lose it in that moment?
Well, he juggled at Bird, and then as he was taking control of it, he got rushed by Tommy Talau and pushed the ball behind Zach Lomax. That was a chance. It finds Lomax. Lomax runs a long way.
What a crazy second half we've had.
Well, Manly are likely to just come up with points now, and then we've got a game.
On for Brown. Okay, take stock. 35 metres out from the line. With tackles up their sleeve. Brooks is running. We like to see that. Just caught by Eisenhuth. Croker, infield. Jake Trbojevic allowed to run a long way. Cherry Evans taken out of the play by DeBellin.
Just went at him. Good defence there, DeBellin.
Croker, Tom Trbojevic, little step into a cul-de-sac. Passes back. Croker with it. Turn and pass. Cherry Evans steadies it up. Seagulls, Olakuatu toying with the defence. Last tackle, Manly. Short side, Cherry Evans, hard pass, and a flying tackle, Ravalawa. Takes Barlow out of the play.
Barlow had launched himself. He was there for takeoff into that corner. Flat pass from Cherry Evans. Great shot from Michaeli Ravalawa. Mid-air.
Clean.
Mid-air. Just, gave him no opportunity to get that ball down.
Anticipating a leap rather than a burrow, and Ravalawa came up a big winner there.
Imperative the Dragons get to a kick.
Now
just to settle down, but off the back of their ordinary ball control, they've been able to defend it, Vossi.
Little
defending their errors.
That's right. Find a big positive and a negative. The Dragon side of last year doesn't do this. Oh, almost forward at a dummy half from Little. Laurie with it. pass on the kickoff. This is heart attack stuff. Eisenhuth picks up the loose ball. That was a shambles, that play. Got away with it. Last tackle for a completed set. There'll be a standing ovation. Hunt bombs. It'll come down 5 metres out. Talau with the ball for Manly.
Well, that's only the second time Ben Hunt has kicked the ball in the second half. We're halfway through the second half and he's only put 2 kicks in because they just haven't been able to get through sets.
Tom Trbojevic on the run. By the way, Fox Sports Lab have found a game. His career worst is 5 errors in a game. He's sitting on 4. But the more mistakes you make, you think the big play's coming, don't you? You feel that could happen.
Well, you know he's got it there. Yeah, we've already seen it this afternoon.
Waddell almost to halfway. Now Croker with it. Nathan Brown. Daly Cherry Evans inside. That's a crucial tackle by Blake Laurie. Well done. Manly now. Tom's got it back from Daly Cherry Evans again. Last tackle play comes to a complete stop.
He's giving himself up for a punt ball.
Yeah, he had a play run through, and I think it was Luke Brooks ran through, and Tom went behind him, so he just had to pull up on his run. But nice involvement there from Tommy Trbojevic a couple of times, threatening. You're right, Blake Laurie. That's a fantastic tackle from Blake Laurie. The replay box just showed it there.
There's another one, no doubt. Fitter, stronger. Blake Laurie under Shane Flanagan this year. Zach Lomax with the ball.
Well,
offload. Winger to winger.
You're still thinking Tom Trbojevic can be the man to get Manly out of the hole and get them back in it.
By the way, just on Zach Lomax's stats, 16 runs today, 123 metres. A workload as a winger. To be commended. The Hunt with it. Dragons look promising. Sloan lost the ball.
Oh, Tommy Talau's in some trouble. What's wrong with him?
And back with it. Elliott coming on in back play for Nathan Brown. Jesse Marshke getting ready for his first involvement in the game, his second NRL game. On the bench with the interchange card now. Manly back up to halfway. Croker gets Alloye on the run.
That's a good run. That is a great run there from Alloye.
10-metre gain. Then Croker's able to take off for another 10. Now they're 22 metres away from the line. 4 tackles up Manly. Tom Trbojevic. Cherry Evans with a little skip. And Olakau'atu, while he's made ground, the Dragons haven't fallen off a tackle. He's only had the 1 tackle bust today and the 1 offload. Last tackle, Cherry Evans down! Oh no! Barlow may have got it down! Barlow with a long palm over the top. It's like the big selfie stick that extended out over the top of Ravalawa and gets there in a photo finish.
I need someone to answer me. How did he get his arm over the top of Ravalawa's body and still control the ball into the in-goal area? I don't know how he's done it. Jackson Barlow, just look, Ravalawa gets in front of him, shields the ball.
Oh, he's dropped it.
He hasn't been able to get it down. I didn't think his arm was that long.
Yeah. There'll be no controversy here, only if they award a try. This is clearly knocked on.
Ball's a long way in the edge.
He's actually...
Oh, hang on. No.
Hang on. There we go through this little bit of theatre.
Yeah. Officially knows it's done.
Yes. Spoiler alert, it's done and
Play's
dusted.
been cleared up until this point.
Must be good feeling in the bunker box when the pressure's off.
Jackson Paulo knocks the ball on with his right hand into the hand of Michaela.
So it touches Ravalawa's hand, so
Yes.
it doesn't even get... It's all over before
It's 20 metres
the ground.
It's 7 tackles set. I'm going to have to take your socks off, Brandy. We're going to have to count off. I don't have enough fingers to count the errors in the second half. It's gone berserko here. So what have we got? 7 from the Dragons. Oh no, you can keep the socks on. We're at 10. The completion rate in the second half is 33% Dragons, 67% Manly.
Yeah. And Manly nearly made them pay.
Seabus Super Stadium is the venue for our second match on Super Saturday, exclusive to Fox League. Titans and the Dolphins. Titans needing a win. They are bottom of the ladder after the win of South Sydney yesterday. Titans the only side without a win.
Well, just another example too. Although it was very close, good ball there.
Offload to Bellin, Eisenhuth. Fending. He's done 5 fends. Eisenhuth. It's like watching Steve Jackson, 89 grand final. Marshke now. Ben Hunt. Kick back inside. Here comes Sloan. Sloan has scored. He's got a double. Hunt's kick perfect. Red and white everywhere. Have a listen and a look.
This place is jumping. The Dragons fans go berserk here at Wynn Stadium. They almost have a try put on them at the other end off the back of the ensuing set. DeBellin, great one-handed pass there to Eisenhuth. You're right, fending, pushing away players. They come down the short side. Ben Hunt with another try assist off a kick. Sloan runs past Paseka, gets to the ball first, catches everyone unaware. That is terrific stuff from Hunt and Sloan.
Harvey Norman replay not only again highlights the skill, but capture the emotion. Happy the Dragon, happy every Dragon. Sloan with a try double. He has now got 6 tries for the season. He's on fire. Tyrell Sloan and St George Illawarra take a giant step towards possible victory.
Yeah, Ben Hunt, 8th try assist for the season, and comfortably now leads that tally. That was a great kick.
Lomax back on target. The margin is outside 2 converted tries. 20 points to 6. Dragons over Manly. Oh, Eloise, beautiful shot of the Dragons fan. That's emotion. That's tribalism.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what the game is capable of doing. He's leading the cheer squad, that bloke. Loving it. 20 points to 6. They're dancing now. It's all happening. 16 and a half minutes to go. Manly without a point since the opening 5 minutes of the game. And only 1 line break in the contest from the Sea Eagles. There's the try order for the Dragons. It's 4 straight. They're well spaced since their 3rd one of the first half. Thoroughly deserved the margin of the lead. Leilua with the ball. Tell you who's gone good. The 2 reserve forwards. Eisenhuth, 13 hit-ups, 125 metres. DeBellin, 13 hit-ups, 109 metres.
Yeah, very good off the bench, both of them.
Hunt now kicks from just inside the Manly half. Towering kick. Talau has it. Chases all there. And Manly are only just in advance of their 10 metre zone. Trebojevic for Cherry Evans. Throwing caution to the wind here. Garrick tries a move. He put a move on Ravalawa. Oh, what about the stepping of Ruben Garrick here? Okay, now they're back outside the 40 in 2 tackles. Sea Eagles not without hope. 14 down, 15 to go.
Well, it is something that they've been very good at this year. That's ball movement from within their own 20, 25 metre area.
Brooks to Trebojevic. Passes on to Kohler. He's been a go-to all afternoon and now into the night. Talau for Croker. Slows it up for Brooks. Then Cherry Evans. Props off the right foot himself. And Leilua was good. One-on-one, dragged him down, slows it down. Croker to Brooks, a kick, which will come down a couple of metres out. Sloan went up, knocked back by Trebojevic, knocked back again, still the last tackle. Dragons scramble, they've done it again.
Enough of them there just to make sure that they can't go any further. Tom Trebojevic chasing the Brooks kick there. Got a hand to it. Back to a Manly player, but Dragons everywhere. Very impressive defence from the Dragons tonight.
Well, if you're a parent watching this, if you like the game of rugby league, you think it might be right for your son and daughter, get back to the real friendships, real teamwork and real skills in 2024. Whether you're just starting out with a club or a familiar face around the grounds, we're sure you'll make memories that last a lifetime. Join the thousands of players already registered and don't miss out on all the unreal fun that is Club Rugby League. Visit playrugbyleague.com to register now. Get involved. Now Laurie with it. Short of the 40-metre line. He's starting out a Dapto Canary. Here's Ben Hunt. Kicks from the 40. High again. Are they going to play it? Yes. Talau with it. Lomax feeds on Talau there. Made the tackle count. Keeps the crowd right up. Hold of the play at centre field. There it was. Lomax perfect. Waited for the feet to be grounded, then hit him hard. 13 minutes to go. Croker. Jake Trebojevic. Set restart. Manly.
They need all the help they can get. Manly. Oh, that's a wobbly. Gee, we've seen a number of those today, haven't we? Just passes going to ground. This one again looks like it slips out of the hands of Lockie Croker.
That's play one.
Well, you don't see as many. You see one every few weeks. You don't see 4 or 5 from the same team in a game. And that's what we've seen from Manly. The drop balls, the error rate, horrendous. Not as bad as the Dragons in the second half, but the damage was done in the opening half.
It's a weird mindset to be in. Watching this, you're thinking Manly are going to score again, but then they keep coming up short. I mean, Dragons could win this 32-6 the way it's going. I mean, they might just end up with something absolutely emphatic on the board. Take it another one. I mean, this crowd is so into the game. Now they've dropped it. The Dragons' error count keeps Manly in the contest. Blake Laurie can't believe it.
One side of the field.
Have we had a captain's challenge in the game? We haven't had any captain's challenges, have we? They've all just been blatant errors.
Yeah, they have, yeah. No argument. There's been no arguing with the calls from the referees. What hasn't happened is Manly have not capitalised on any errors. And the mountain of errors that the Dragons have made in this half, they're below 50% completion rate this half. They're 6 of 13.
My goodness.
They're like, that's horrific.
And we're talking about them winning by 26. They're up by 14. I'll say it again. Crazy game, this one. Crazy game. Croker, Brooks. Left foot, offload. Croker, centre field. Cherry Evans, wider still. Olakuatu. There's Suli, gets tough with him. So does Ravalawa.
They've been good this afternoon, whether it's been Leilua, Ravalawa, Suli. They've handled that right side of Manly's comfortably.
LEA on the run. Manly started the year with 2 wins. Then beaten by Parramatta in a beauty last week. Trebojevic, Brooks trying to spin away. Hunt's got him.
Yeah, well read, Benny Hunt. Out of the line quickly.
Set restart, they said. Set restart. Full set Manly. Paseka, 10.5 to go. On the scoreboard, they are still in it, but they need to get one. The comeback has to start somewhere. Brooks, Cherry Evans, and no, it ain't going to start here. Oh, yes, penalty. It played advantage. Inside the 10.
Well, Luciano offside, play breakdown.
We've seen this play out already in this half, where Manly had 3 full sets on the Dragons line and couldn't score. Here's another chance for a...
It hasn't been Daly's best game today either.
Well, just not much has happened.
No.
Like it just had... They're trying, but...
Oh,
boy,
no! Anthony Seibold. He may need medical treatment here.
Some of the errors have been as basic as they can be. A tap Aloye just handing him the ball, he dropped it.
I'm going with the voodoo line. I think there's bad juju here. There's something doing here from somewhere else that's had an effect on players today. Wow, watch this. In the meantime, Dragons have a set restart. Anthony Seibold and Shane Flanagan should have a drink after the game.
That's the Dragons' first set restart too. Oh, well, I don't think they'll be in talk. Well, one will be. One won't mind a chat, but the other one won't.
Ski on the Bellin, on the Mola. Well, they've got themselves 32 metres out. They've got 3 tackles in this set left. They've got a Manly side down on confidence. Hunt and Sewer carries defenders some 6 or 7 metres there. It's going to be a big kick on the end of this set. Hunt, Jink, straighten up. Tyler Mariner cut in half there by Croker. Last tackle. Marshke goes himself.
Set restart.
On the last. Marshke to play it. Hunt. And they go to power play in the Seagulls defence. Alakuatu down low. Paseka over the top. Oh boy, Marshke's dribbled that back. There, he knocked it back. Gets away with that one. It was sloppy, but survives. Not added to the error count. For Tyler Mariner with it. 8 minutes to go, leading by 14, and you got your opponents defending their goal line. Marshke runs out of options, goes right side. Flanagan, who scored 2 tries this year, is 4 metres away from the line. Not the Dragons' best set, this one. Milking it. Flanagan. Marshke. Hunt. Hard ball. Back to Sloan. Chip over the top. There it is. Bird roster. Dragons claim it. No. Brian says knock forward. Trebojevic sprinting back to the 20. Then we know checking it in the bunker. Manly get away with the ball. Barlow to run it up. It was close.
Well, it was close, and that would have been it for Manly. There's no coming back if Jack Bird holds on to that one. Manly still have a chance. 7 tackle set. They're up at halfway.
Saw the brief shot of Talau, treated for cramp in goals. They're playing with 12. He's a good 50 metres behind the play. Brown on the run for the Seagulls. Talau still getting treated for the cramp. 40 metres from the line.
Well, they need to be perfect from here, Manly. They can't afford another error.
Allier. Well, he lost it, did he? He went close. Brown, step. 22 metres from the line. 2 tackles left in this set for Manly. They've got to score this set, don't they? If they're to hope of winning, Cherry Evans, Garrick behind Trebojevic. Barlow goes back for it.
They've lost 10 metres, so they have to get back behind the ball for last play.
Talau only now running, or not even sprinting the line. He can barely walk. Bomb on the last. Dragons run underneath it. Ravalawa's got the ball. The Seagulls cannot find 3rd or 4th gear. They're stuck in 2nd.
Yeah, they were never going to get that kick. The kick wasn't high enough, and no one really made an effort to put any sort of pressure on the Dragons' takers. Ravalawa just positions himself. No one's around him.
20 points to 6. Titans and Dolphins is our 2nd game on Super Saturday on Fox League. Manly, who face Penrith next Saturday, same time as this one out at 4 Pines Park. I think they're close to a sellout already too on that game, but it will become must win if it's back-to-back defeats. Hunt goes long from the 40-metre line, and it bounces long. And Tom Trebojevic has to play it. He looks up. There's 6 Dragons there. They surround Tom. The wagons come in. Going nowhere, Trebojevic. Too good, the Dragons. Now Kohler with it. Manly scored the first points of the match. They led 6-0 through the first 5. 4 straight tries, Dragons. Only 1 try the second half. Now for Brown, getting a lot of minutes. Allier chipping away. Need more than that now, Manly. Croker, Brooks, allowed to run a long way. Tom Trebojevic, Kohler. Byrne gets in his face. Hunter's done a lot of defence as well. Manly halted, 10 inside the Dragons' half. Last tackle, Brooks, it's a bomb and hope. Cherry Evans, Garrick chasing, ball allowed to bounce. Cherry Evans has got it. Cherry Evans with a ball. It's still the last tackle. Croker gets it. Manly need to score. Allier, Brown, Brooks. A second kick is coming. No, it's not. Maybe it is. No, it's not. Maybe it is. Now he passes. Garrick has got it. 6 more. Can you believe it? Of course you can. Garrick confirms it. Crazy play this. They're all actors. They're not footy players. They're just acting out there. They were acting a last play out. Now the ball with Brown. 4 to go. 20-6.
What needs to happen this set, Andrew, if they're any chance, if there to be any chance, they need to score in this set.
Croker to the right side of the ruck. They walk in the defensive line with Paseka. Now to the right, Cherry Evans. Nice ball. Olakau'atu has scored for Manly. Finally, Manly get their second.
Take time off, Ruben. Tackle 3. You can set it up, wait for the confirmation.
10 the difference.
Well, they've done such a good job. The Dragons' defence on that side of the field's been outstanding. And the amount of work that they've done on their own try line, Suli, Leilua, Ravalawa have been terrific on the edge. Olakau'atu, sheer weight of possession. They had to hang on to it and just tramples one of the Dragons' players.
3.5 to go.
Well, stranger things have happened.
Try is confirmed. We know Manly can score a long-range try. We know they can do that. But can you just flick a switch when it just hasn't been happening today? Garrick to make it 8 the difference. Garrick is successful. 20 points to 12. 3 minutes to go.
Well, we've had 2 tries scored in the final 3 minutes this year. Don't worry about what's happened in the history of the game. This year we've had it happen. So for all Manly have done to lose this one, they are still there.
Titans Dolphins coming up. The hammer. Hamaso Tabuai-Fido. David Fafita is back. Titans and Dolphins on a Saturday night, Easter Saturday on Fox League. And we're on deck again tomorrow for the matches between the Warriors and the Knights, and the Sharks and the Raiders, exclusive to Fox League tomorrow night from PointsBet. And Monday we have Parramatta and the Tigers for you at CommBank Stadium. Tigers chasing back-to-back wins. Parramatta winners last weekend. Tremendous football coming your way on Fox League. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Lomax, long. Can we get through the last 3 without a drop ball? Paseka takes the first one, strong carry. 15 out from the line. Croker, Nathan Brown, Brooks, they're running. Manly knocked by Hunt. The inside ball from Waddell. Tackle count restarts. That was going to be pretty slick from Manly. They're on their way.
Yeah, the play that has worked for them, the outside back and the inside to Tom Trbojevic, has seen them open up sides already this year. That Paris was knocked down by Ben Hunt.
And moving the Dragons' defence around. They still... then a forward pass. Nathan Brown, well, Pat Mahomes just thrown a ball. It was missed by our referee. Cherry Evans. Dragons fans are up in arms. Cherry Evans to Brown. Back to Cherry Evans. Lovely step. Round the corner. There's Waddell. Manly still a hope with 2 to go. 20 to 12. Third tackle in the sets. Croker with the ball. Now for Alloyer. They're going to spread it right this time. Brooks running. Tom Trbojevic inside. Did an offload. Marshke and Leilua the defenders. 4 tackles up. Short side. Olakau'atu trying to batter his way through the defence. Last tackle. Now or never for Manly. Cherry Evans to kick towards the upright. It's there. It's there. It's taken by Lomax. Over the dead ball line. The ball was on offer for just a moment for Manly.
Yeah, and it was Tom Trbojevic too, the target, the intended target coming through. There's Tommy in the middle. Might have just got a hand to it.
Line drop out the call. Ben Hunt will play the clock here. He sees 8 seconds. 20 to 12. One to go. He'll get it away. He's long. Fielded by Cherry Evans. Might be another one. If they score, they forfeit the kick at goal. We've had that before this game on this round. 50 seconds. Croker. I'll say this at this point. Manly do not deserve to win, but 20 points to 12. It's Dragons haven't closed it out. Brooks with it. Then Riddell close to the line. Kolar, a dummy half. Brooks, his first receiver. He will try a kick. It took a deflection off the deck. Brown and Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans short to Olakuatu. Not going to get a second try here. And it's all but done now for the Dragons. Cherry Evans, a dummy half. Away a little wearily to Croker. Then for Brown, on for Brooks, inside for Waddell. Passing there, there's the error. Forced by the defence of Flanagan. He punches the air. The Dragons fans are up. You probably can't say, oh, when the Saints go marching in. They haven't exactly marched in, but they've made a statement of sorts. There's a toughness about their performance here. Big home crowd have been jumping. They've ridden the roller coaster in the second half. The Dragons have their second win of the season. Manly has back-to-back losses. Full time at Wynn Stadium, Super Saturday Fox League. St George Illawarra 20, Manly 12.